Okay, I'm going to show you a couple moves on how to take someone's queen away. There's obviously, a whole bunch of moves, the way to do this and everything. And one of the best ways to do this is when the queen is aligned in front of the king. Okay? Now, it's like the whole, Yoko Ono, Chapman, John Lennon thing. Chapman's trying to hit Yoko Ono, John Lennon gets in the way. It's that kind of premise. Okay, so you got the queen in front of the king there. Anytime you bombard that bitch now with any kind of pieces, like here's a rook, they can't move that out of the way. They can't move the queen out of the way. You're attacking the queen. They can't move it because the king's right behind it, right? And the best that they can do is come and take this piece, and then you just take that. Obviously, whatever piece that you're bombarding it with, has to be protected by another piece and everything, right? But that's one of the perfect ways to do this. You can have it set up like this, and you bring your bishop up, right? The bishop is protected by the rook and everything. It's the same sort of premise. They can't move the queen out of the way, right? Because the king is right behind it. So anytime that you see this, where the queen is in front of the king, then you got to take advantage of that, because these little nerds from the chess clubs, they get all happy when they see shit like this. Oh, you don't know how to play chess and stuff, so you got to take advantage of this. Someone's queen is what they call a discovered check. Okay, a discovered check is when you move a piece and I discovered that I just put your fucking thing in check and stuff like that. That's what a discovered check is and everything. When you do a discovered check like that, you could do a lot of things. All right, because look here's the queen right over here with diagonal from the bishop and everything. If you move the bishop up here by the queen, right? They can't take that because they're in check now. What is it? I mean, it's the old premise. You check the king, you take the queen. You check the king, you take the queen. It's like a nerd mantra or whatever the hell. Okay? And like I said, so now he's got to put his bishop in front of there to because he's in check now. And all you do is you just take the queen. It's as simple as that. A popular thing that a lot of people do is they'll check with their knight, right, and take the queen and everything. I think it's sweeter if you do almost like a discovered check. Okay? You see how like the rook is lined up in front of the queen there, and when you check with the knight, I mean, because that's the best thing about chess, if you ask me. A lot of people say, well, there's just so many calculations to take in consideration, and there is, but you could always, and you never know what your opponent's going to do, only when you check. When you check, you're forcing your opponent to make a move, okay? So you just got to love that, because that's almost like you're getting two moves then. You force them to move, and then you could do another move, right? As opposed to, 1 and 1 and 1 and 1, because you never know, it's, who knows what anyone's thinking or doing. Right now I'm thinking that my balls itch. You didn't know that. Did you know that? See, you didn't know that, right? Okay, so you could do like I said, here's a nice little I wouldn't call it the discover check, right? But here you are checking with your knight. A lot of people, they'll check the king and take the queen. I don't like that move. I think that's pansy. I think that's, that's chess 101 there, right? This I like a lot better, all right? He has to move his king. He has to. He's in check, right? He can't take this piece, right? He has to move his king. He'll probably move up his king right there and take the knight on the next one. Who gives a shit about that? Because you're coming down and you're do this with all sorts of different stuff. Look at, all right, I'm going to check the king there, right? You're not worried about that piece. You wouldn't mind sacrificing the bishop to take someone's queen. That's a nice move. That's a sweet move. You'll see this a lot like in speed chess. They'll do crazy shit like this all the time, right? Okay, you see that again? You check the king, right? He's got to protect his king. That's the whole That's the whole friggin' ball game there, right, man? And so then he comes by, takes that and everything.